Hey everybody, welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to make a southern potato and hamburger or ground beef casserole. It's something my mom used to make all the time. I made when the kids were growing up. It's really easy. There's not a whole lot of ingredients. You can change it up according to the taste and flavors you like. I'm going to put all the ingredients down below, so if I miss something here, you'll still have it. But I got 1.5 pounds of ground beef, actually ground chuck, in here that I've pretty much browned up. I'm just salt and peppering it. And then I have 1 sweet onion. I actually have Vidalia onions right now, so I've got it chopped up. We're gonna put that in. Just let those onions cook down just a little bit, become a little bit translucent and soften up. I use the ground chuck, so I'm not really going, I see very little fat in here, so I won't have to drain this off. And if there was a little bit, I usually leave it in because the potatoes will help soak that up a little bit, give it a little bit more flavor to the casserole. So we are going to put this in a casserole dish, and we're going to put it in the oven. Okay, so while that's coming together, I have about 4 pounds of golden potatoes here. I like these golden because I like to leave the skins on. I don't like peeling them and wasting all that. I feel there's a lot of nutrients in the skin. So I'm going to use, I like to keep all my potatoes about the same thickness. So now if you're going to use one of these, be very careful. They do come with a attachment. I actually have a glove that I'll sometimes use on it. They won't cut because all my years working, even in professional kitchens, I've seen so many fingers get sliced off by these mandolins. They're very sharp. They do a great job if you're careful. But if not, you can just use a paring knife and slice them about 1/4 inch thick or less. You don't want them real thick because they won't bake as fast. And then you'll have hard potatoes in your casserole. Right, 2 more. There we go. Oh, still have potato up in there, that's why it smells sticky. And the last one. There we go. When you're done with them, always close them up so you don't actually sit them on the counter or in the sink and slice your finger. Always close them up. So we have our 4 pounds of potatoes here, all nice and sliced up. Looks like I might have a little bit more than 4 pounds, but coming close. So the meat is nice and browned. I like to get a little bit of a brown on it. Bone pan. Gives a little bit more flavor. And you don't have to get these all the way cooked through the onions because we are going to put this in the oven. I've got the oven set at 350. So there we go. I got it turned off. Now let's start putting our casserole together. Give me a 9 by 13. Spray it down. I've already got this steak in there. Picking it up. Okay, so we're going to first just put a layer of potatoes in the bottom. And we'll make about 3 layers of our potatoes and meat and cheese. This was a real popular casserole back in the 60s because it helped spread the meat, provide more filling when things were a little bit harder to come by, and you had more people to feed, more kids. So there's the potatoes. I'm going to salt and pepper each layer of potatoes to give them some flavor. there. Now, we're just going to put a layer of the ground beef mixture over top of this. Doesn't have to be real thick. Stir that around. Pull that off, it's still cooking. And then we're going to put cheese. I've got 1.5 cups of a Monterey Colby mixture shredded here. There we go. And we're just going to start all over again with the potatoes. With another layer. You don't want them laying totally on top of each other like this. They're not going to cook through, so kind of spread them out a little bit, just so they overlap a bit. You could definitely change this up and use ground turkey or ground chicken if you don't want the ground beef. Put some of these in that I'm just cooking over the side. And I did not salt and pepper that layer of potatoes. Let's get them now. And another sprinkling of cheese. You don't want to go way overboard on the cheese, because the cheese has fat in it and it's going to make it a real fatty, greasy casserole. Just enough to hold it together, give it some flavor. Yeah, I think I did more than 4 pounds of potatoes here. If you're wondering what's going on over here, it's not part of this recipe. I've got 2 large chickens in there that I bought, and I also have all the parts and pieces of chickens that I've been cooking and breaking down. All those pieces I keep in the freezer. I put those in there along with all the ends of the vegetables, carrots, celery, onion. In fact, the onions that I chopped put in here, I put all the skins in there. I'm going to be making a chicken salad with that. So you guys can look forward to that recipe coming up soon. So we just ignore that sitting there now. So I'll cut this layer. Get it all out of there. Now there's very little grease left in there. Spread this out some. Just going to put just a tad bit of cheese over here because I'm going to put this last layer of potatoes on here so I don't waste them. And then I'll cover them in cheese as well. Like I said, you can use any kind of potato. I just like using the golden potatoes because I like leaving the skin on them. And they seem to stick when you cook too. The russets, the skins come off and then it's all stringy. So I prefer the golden potatoes here. Okay. I like to push it down to get it all kind of flat and even. Put this last bit of cheese over the top. Okay. All right, now we got the casserole put together. We're going to put the sauce that goes over top. I'm going to use 3/4 cup of whole milk. Don't use 2%, it won't come out as creamy. A lot of people use cream of mushroom soup. I use cream of bacon soup. I mean, bacon, why not? Anything I can put bacon in, I'm going to put bacon in. So I'm going to use 2 cans of cream of bacon soup. You can use cream of chicken, cream of mushroom, whatever you like, whatever your family likes. And I'll put about 1/2 teaspoon of salt and because I've been salting all the layers, so I don't want to do the salt. Maybe about a half a teaspoon of salt and some black pepper. I've got a teaspoon of garlic powder that I'm going to put in here. And I put about half of a cup of sour cream. That's about right. And then we're just going to bring this all together. And this we're going to pour over top of the casserole and then just let it bake right in. Close this up so if I splash, I don't get it in my salt and pepper. Now that looks a little thick for what I'm looking for, so I'm going to put a little bit more milk in it. So it may take about 3/4 of a cup. So I'll change that down in the recipe below. Like I said, I'll put all the ingredients down below and also on my website, gregs-kitchen.com. You can go there and print this recipe out if you want a copy of it. All right, let's pour this over the casserole. And as it bakes, this is going to cook right down into it. So we're just pouring it over top. I can smell the bacon in that cream of bacon soup. There we go. Just spread this out a little bit. Now I'm going to cover this in tin foil, put it in the oven, and like I said, I already preheated the oven at 350, and we're going to let it bake for about 45 to 55 minutes. I'll check it at about 40, 45 just to see how it looks, see if the potatoes are softened up. If the potatoes are not softened up, of course, just put it right back in and let it cook just a little bit longer. So I'm going to get the foil over this, get it in the oven, and we'll be back when it's all done. Hey everybody, we're back. The casserole has been in the oven. Let me explain what I did. It was in the oven for about an hour. I uncovered it and it was still, the potatoes were still a little bit hard. So I left it uncovered and cooked it for another 15, 20 minutes. Checked it again. They were just about tender enough, so I decided I want to put some more cheese on it. So I sprinkled about another half cup of cheese over the top, and it's just been about another 5 minutes now. So I'm gonna get that out. Whew. Nice and bubbly and cheesy. I hope I can get a close-up of that. Now you're going to want to let it sit for about 15 minutes before you cut into it, because as you can see, it is boiling all around the edges, bubbling up, and cheese is nice and melty. I am going to try not to burn my face and get in here and get some. Now remember when I told you all that cheese is going to has extra fat in it that's going to release? You can see some of that around the edges here. So if you want, you can take a paper towel. I do this sometimes on pizza and casseroles that have a lot of cheese, and just dab the top. In fact, let me do that. Let me grab a paper towel, and you can just dab the top and it'll pull off the extra oil. I do this all the time on pizza. When I get pizzas that are too greasy and oily. Here we go. That just dabs off the extra oil. So now let me see where I can sneak in here and get a bite of this. It's steaming. Well, the sauce that I just got on my tongue was good. Whoa, that's very good. A little bit there. Nice and creamy. I got a little bit of the hamburger there too, and the potato is just tender enough. That's good. So this is my Southern hamburger and potato casserole. You can change it up, like I said. You can put ground turkey in it. You can put ground chicken in it. If you want to add some peppers in there, anything you like. I mean, mainly this was to stretch the meal to be able to serve more. And it was just hamburger and potatoes back then. But if you like my video, I really hope you'll hit the like button there at the bottom. It does help us a lot. Share the video with your friends. If you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell. And every time I put out another video, you'll be notified right away. I love that you guys are coming to my kitchen. I appreciate it so much. So have a great rest of your day and God bless. Take care. Bye-bye.